Today we're going to be trying to see if we can get really lucky and fix this Switch Lite. I say really lucky because the luck would be if it's parts, if it doesn't require any parts. If it does, then still not the end of the world. It just means we need to wait on some parts to come in, which will be, of course, another day. I have a few predictions as to what's wrong with it. Let me get over here to it. Okay, all right, here we are. So this cute little Switch Lite. I like the case change. Somebody else did that. I love the atomic purple colors. Unfortunately, it does kind of seem to have some problems, some of which appear to be created by the person that did this case swap, some of which look to be either just this poor thing was beat to death, or the cases, which has been known to be the case in the past, are a little inferior in quality, because you have stress cracks. Like there's one from the D-pad over to here. I think there's one or two others around buttons on this side. So that is a problem with aftermarket cases, is this plastic is just not as sturdy as the original stuff. And as you can see, obvious damage right here. So that's of course a point of focus. The person that sold it to me says that existed before it decided it didn't want to turn on more. So my first theory was that this ribbon cable kind of plate here that has the power button and the volume buttons could have gotten, since it's exposed, something could have snagged it and yanked it. And you can see, or I can see at least, where that ribbon cable runs to, it is pulled out about halfway. So that could be the really beautiful magic bullet fix right there, is just getting that back in its proper place. There's still some other things I'd want to correct though. I see a screw for this RF shielding that is backed all the way out. It's probably just a couple more vibrations away from being something rattling around in there until it touches parts of the board that it shouldn't. So that's a concern. Still, that'd be an easy fix. Like I said, this is the main damage, but there's other damages. This part in front of the disc, or the cartridge slot, has popped off, so the cartridge slot just kind of flops around willy-nilly. But here's where I get theory number 2. Okay, a couple problems. Number 1, I can sometimes get it to boot, but it will boot and then just stop after immediately and go blank screen again. We know the screen, at least for the most part, looks good, because when you plug in a charger, we will get the little charging symbol up here, and that means the whole screen was turned on for that time, and I don't have lines going everywhere and all kinds of craziness, which is great. With the charger plugged in is when I got it to boot last time, so let's see if we can have any luck here. Yeah, so there we go. Nintendo. Screen looks great. Nintendo's gone, and it will just do nothing from this point forward. That is one symptom that points towards possibly a battery issue. It also points towards a ton of other things, but another symptom that points towards possible battery issues is that where it's broken up here, this part is separated as if this back is being pushed out. I think the battery's bulged. And that may even be what caused this break here, because there's a screw here, and so this part was trying to move out and this screw was saying no, until finally it just said, alright, something's got to give. So that's my prediction. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting into this guy, which those are some tiny little screws. Just you try and get away. Just you try. It's got to get around the head port jack on the top, and off she goes. We're in, ladies and gentlemen. We are in. Yeah, this poor thing is taking a beating. I hate it, but, you know, do what we can for it. Again, if the case is the only thing hurt, then great. So, here's where I was looking about... Oh. Ooh. I see some damage to this ribbon as well. The problem is, since it actually boots at one point and then just fails out, then I don't think that the power button is not getting connection, because, well, once the power button would be pressed, then it should be fine. This piece right here, this little metal piece, is bulging out. There's definitely been an expansion right here, and I feel very strongly it's that battery. Which I hate that, but it is what it is. So let's flip up some little doors so we can tease out. Where's my tweeze? My little tweeze. Got to do the tweeze. So we can tease out this ribbon cable gently without damaging it. Okay, power board's out of the way. Alright. I shouldn't really have to remove too much if I'm not going to the front of this, which we're not going to dig too much deeper than we have to today. Let's get this shield off. There's the screw that had backed out. I think it's a screw in the wrong place. So we need to be wary of that, because that screw is way too long for where it just came out of. That's a missing screw there. I need to remagnetize this thing. Where's my small magnet? Come here. Whoops. Well, that's one way to do it. There we go. Got a hard drive magnet I like to just kind of stick to things. And then it will make a magnetic screwdriver. Okay, next problems I see, this Wi-Fi wire here has been smashed up against that piece and has been somewhat crimped. It's probably fine, but that's just a little bit tacky. It could cause problems eventually. I'm going to be honest, I don't really see that battery bulging so much, which is a little bit worrying. Then again, maybe somehow it is the fact that the power button's not where it, wasn't all the way seated. But let's see if I can get this battery out. Well, oh, hello. We have damage on the actual battery plug. Okay. Our water indicator is still good. It doesn't appear to have water damage, at least not where that indicator is. So we're good there. So part of me wants to remove this battery, and part of me really doesn't want to if it's not the problem, because they're glued in, and it's just a pain in the butt. But still, as easy as it was to get into this, I may be willing to go and get my working Switch Lite and swap the batteries around. These pieces, it should, there it is. Pops up just like that. Yeah, so that's exactly how it works. Okay, neat. Let's see if there's something we can do here. So this part's broken. This plastic piece, because I just did like that and I realized it moved when it probably shouldn't. Okay, so that's broken. That explains why that part's sticking up. I wonder if the previous battery had swelled. You know what? We're gonna do this the cautious way. Let's put the battery, plug it back in. Which, that damaged connector does make me wonder if that could be the problem as well. We can do a couple little test type things. We can hold it with our finger or something and add pressure to it and see if it stays running. And put the screen back in. I think that's the screen or backlight or something. It's one of those. So it's got a lot of traces on that little tiny ribbon cable. So what I want to do is I want to reinstall the power board again and get it to where it's actually all the way in. And we'll see real quick just to be sure if that's the problem. Because if it is, then there's no point in me tearing a lot more of this out, especially the glued in battery. It should come loose, but I can already tell that there's been damage done to it by prying on it by whoever did this before me. So, and that may complicate things, and I just, I'm not down with that. So this little ribbon cable definitely doesn't want to just go back in like it's supposed to. Hope that's not indicative of an issue. Okay, it is in now, all the way. It just has the mask goes back further on that one. That is interesting. Huh. Well, we learn something new every day, I guess. Okay, well, let's throw this back up here. And that one's power. Hold. Nintendo! Wahoo! So we got it to show Nintendo again. Nintendo Switch. Wow. I wonder if it is that power thing. Because it's up. Yeah, we're up and running. That is interesting. Let's put her back together and run it through some paces and just see. Let's route this correctly now, because there's part of the problem, is that this little ribbon cable is supposed to go flush right there. Now it does. Okay, so it's routed correctly. It's not going to get pinched. Let's make sure everything else is right, because this may be the time that I put it back together for now. I'm going to try to fix the case next, but that's going to require a new case. And, that's back to that whole we need parts thing. Plate. This RF shield comes from, or came from. So, we're going to okay, put that back on. She's still running. Got some games on here. I wonder if any of these are digital only. Oh my gosh, they even had the home circuit. Man, I hope she picks up another Switch, because they've got plenty of stuff for it. Anyway, let's throw some screws in it, because I think it's good. I think we are set. I'm gonna. Wow, this screw is useless. Where it's at. The part of the back piece that holds it down, or that it's holding down, is broken completely off. Man, this poor case. Again, it's probably more brittle than a stock case, and that's probably a big part of why it's so beat up. But it still had to take some damage to get to this point. It's taken a beating. But once I get it back together, I guess I'm going to spend some time today just goofing off and playing it, and see if it starts failing again or not, and then we'll know. Hey, still got a problem. If not, then my prediction was correct about that ribbon cable being the issue. It not being all the way plugged in. So I'm going to do something really janky here. You're going to love it. It's going to be super janky. But again, this is because this is a temporary case. We will be making a new case. I may look or putting a new case on it. I may look into if there's a screw kit I can buy, since a lot of the screws have damaged the heads or are missing. That would be pretty sweet to just have like a kit that is all new screws. So yes, this is as janky as it looks. I don't want that board getting yanked again. And I don't want the power button to fall out in case I don't get that with a new case. So I'm just going to gently put this piece of tape over it. And those buttons are still fully functional. They're just in place now. So let's take another look here. She's still on. Battery a little bit low maybe. We'll do some charging. Why not? Let's knock ourselves out here. Let's see if make sure it charges. That needs to be tested anyway. Console battery 45%. She is a charging. Now, there's something that's a little interesting, was that the battery read much higher than that when it wasn't functioning at all. So that is a little interesting. Until I know that it's going to consistently stay on, I'm not going to try any sort of format or wipe, because if it were to suddenly lose power during that, then you could have a corrupted system. I'm just trying booting and unbooting it over and over again to see if I can make it do, bad things again. Let's do power options. Let's just turn it completely off. And then we'll try to turn it back on again. And then I'm going to go grab a game to test with. A cartridge. Make sure that cartridge port is good. Nintendo. It's a cereal now. Nintendo. There it is. Okay, console battery's still at 45%, so it claims it's charging, but we'll let it keep going. But man, it's acting right now. So either that battery with its damaged connector, which thankfully it's only the battery side that's damaged, so if that were a problem, we can swap batteries and it will be fixed. But maybe one of those connections from those 3 wires wasn't connecting well, and us reseating it has fixed the problem for now. Or it could be that ribbon cable that we reseated over here for the power button. That is very possible as well. So I will go ahead and just keep testing this. Here is my other Switch Lite. Still needs some cleanup. I traded a guy a Xbox One for this, which I had 4 fully functional Xbox Ones at the time. Power options, turn off. I haven't played it in a while. I don't want the battery to run dead on it. Okay. Get out our game. Sayonara Wild Hearts. That one came with this console, and honestly, it's a pretty fun game, actually. It's very short, so I hope it's not a full, $50, $60 game, because if it is, I'll say it's not worth that. But for one playthrough, wow, instantly recognized it. Can we start the software without a download? Sure, let's be that person. Yeah. But it is a game that you can beat in about an hour and a half, 2 hours most, and then they have some stuff in there that's supposed to try to help be, for replayability, but it didn't really catch my attention. But the game's great. Funny thing, the narrator in this game is Queen Latifah. I'm not joking. So that's interesting. Let me check our speakers. Making sure we have stereo. Thank you, Queen Latifah. Alright, well, okay. Well, we're just filling in time. I'm just going to go ahead and end our stream. We're going to call this one a success. Gotta get a new case for it. We'll have to see what we can do, and then there'll be a recasing stream. thank you so much for joining me. James, Alistair, thank you for your comments. Y'all are phenomenal, and I love the support. Makes me enjoy doing this stuff even more. And I will see you next time, and next time may just be sprucing up this poor shattered case. Alright guys, have a good day.